Yeah, that's true, Chris. I thought the intrinsic upgrade would be extremely powerful and they wouldn't add it. But back then I was obviously talking about it being a merchant of magic upgrade and not something that increases your danger level for the rest of the run. I still think it's very powerful in very specific decks. But it doesn't seem too crazy. I'm gonna do another run with the same settings. I wanna see if I can get an edge build to work. So let's try that. Well, well. Echo Infusion, Prismal Dust, Forgotten Trade. Secondary clan is Exiled Umbra. So we have lots of pings with the blinks and the echo breaks. Seraph with Sep, the Temperant. We have Arcus and Talos. Arcus using the Harvest and Incant Dark Shard, and Talos using Days on Strike. Huh. Favorite element of the new DLC? The entire pack chart mechanic. I do like the new clan, it's definitely fun, but I really think the pack chart mechanic brings a lot of decision making to this game. And yeah, in a very good way, I think. Worn Grindstone versus Infused Mallet. Friendly units get +3 attack. Well, we're not having... Our champion isn't Primordium, so that hardly matters. Let's go with the mallet. What pack chart amounts translate to different threat levels? Max pack chart. So, how pack charts work. At the start of the fight, a couple of random enemy units will be upgraded. Every unit has a shard cost. So you'll upgrade random enemy units until the shard cost is spent. And the shard cost depends on the unit type. So I think heavy front lines take a bit more shards to get upgraded, while weak backliners take a bit less. And depending on the wave you're in, that basically then translates into threat level. So early on, if you have 10 pack charts, most enemies won't even be able to afford a shard upgrade, because I think most early enemies have something like 12 or 15. But you might sometimes see like one weaker unit that takes a pack chart upgrade just from these 10. But yeah, it's basically that. Armor on edge or shells and eggs? I want to go with armor on edge, but I don't know why. How do we scale our offense? Maybe with the edge unit that gains attack on edge. We already have 3 consume cards, so that's not bad. I'm gonna go with the armor on edge. Not quite sure why yet. I just wanna try to find something that works well with it. Mark of Invasion. Slightly annoying, but we have so many blinks and echo strikes, whatever that card's called, that we should be able to deal with it. Let's apply Infuse to these and then Oh, we should have played the plinks first and then infused the morsels. And then I'm just gonna buy these damage shields. Lifesteal is not necessary. I'd rather have 6 attack, and then let's go with these +2/+2s and extra energy. This guy will gain a damage shield from slaying the rubble morsel, but the morsel excavator will hit the damage shield off, so we're fine there. We get some support on damage against this guy. What's left? Train steward on the bottom, I guess, to eat that morsel. Backliner dies to the pyre. Let's just get the damage on that unit out. Well, 1 damage off of killing this enemy. But at least the boss won't be a problem. Not at all. Look at our defensive layers. 54 health, 5 damage shield, 16 armor. How many rounds of combat could we do against this guy? We have 70 health. So that's 11 rounds, 11 turns of attacking plus damage shield. We could do 16 rounds of combat against that enemy. I don't think there's a specific priority on what gets shard upgraded. I think it is random, but I'm not sure. Do we even need even more armor? If so, shelter could help with that. Proclamation is probably what we need. The damage from that. Sounds good. Immortal Trait, probably not what we want here. Maybe making of a morsel, but currently I'm thinking none of these. Yeah. Boss is special. Boss works differently from the other shard upgrades. They will just always get a stat boost. The stat boost depends on your pack charts. They will also gain new ability at certain levels of pack, new abilities at certain levels of pack chart. Like for example, one of the earlier bosses, I think the other Ring 1 boss, the fighter type, will gain trample if you take the pack charts at the beginning and have 10 or 15, while later bosses might gain the abilities at different levels or a different amount of stacks, like a boss gaining more stacks of stealth the more pack charts you have. Things like that. Gonna go for a Wurmkin unit here, and first of kin is pretty much what I wanted. Not necessarily to use it, although it's not bad at all. But more importantly, just to edge it on a unit that can work better with scaling. Isn't like a 3 capacity, 3 cost unit just for the 25-55 body, but actually has better scaling stats. Like, this guy has great stats, and it will certainly be a huge help in getting through the next few combats. But beyond that, do we wanna hold over a proclamation? I feel like no. Although we should probably be able to afford it. And yeah, it's actually a big help. That just means we're gonna have a very fluctuating candy economy. I love that sentence. But that's fine. We definitely want as many consume spells as we can get. And these blinks benefit a lot from the extra magic power. These were some nice spell upgrades. I didn't even look at this. I think we have enough defense to not need the value stone here. Intrinsic, probably not necessary either. I would have loved an extreme stone or a piercing for my damage spell. Well, we have 11 damage spells in the deck. The one with extract, which I can't remember the name of. No, I can. It's Proclamation. Gain 75 gold for spikes 3. That should be not a problem at all. Top floor is capacity reduced. That is totally okay with me. I want the edge. It's just one energy. Well, it's one energy, but that means a damage shield. And all of that is triggering the edge ability. Not sure what to do with these morsels. Let's just stack some of them on the top floor. Don't want to incant that guy any further. Just gonna produce a candy on top. You never know when it might come in handy. Yeah, the damage is better than the tiny edge trigger right now. Bounding Echoes with Infused. It's a consume spell. It's a decent consume spell. It's infused. We take it. Hey, another decent consume spell that's infused. But this one is even more exciting, I think. Very exciting indeed. We've seen that event before as well. Have we? The understanding eludes me for why one with such little power as yourself continues to fight for a world that has already been condemned to die. Divinities created this world. Not for you. Never for you. But for us. It was a game. For the child. To judge souls as good or as evil. We did not care for this lowly play. But the creation of this world took less than a breath. Time was my domain, and life was the mother's. The divine presence vanishes, some lingering power left behind in its wake. Do we need... Oh man, this divine advanced prototype is ridiculously powerful. This is just an easy win against Talos. That might be better than 25 gold here. Because we might take some damage against Talos. It is Septalos. It's the slowest one. But we do have days to deal with. So our frontliner will quite often be dazed. But we have a lot of spells to deal with enemies. Even the 6 magic power would be helpful. I think we can safely take the gold. If we were a bit lower on health or something, I wouldn't take the risk and just go for the free win of giving all our trains to your +10/+10, multi-strike 2 and damage shield 4. Because that's frankly a crazy upgrade, but... Want a relic here? The top floor starts each battle with 1 unremovable candy. That is very nice. That means we can very easily lean into these extract spells, because this unremovable candy can be used to pay extract cost, it will just not be spent. So we can play these echo infusions for free, proclamation much easier. And I don't think we will be building into morsels that much. We might have a slight sub-theme of morsels, thanks to our space prism allowing us to actually place some of them. I'm gonna go with Encased Divinity. Kinhost Carapace. Again. And I still think it's not good in this deck. But this time around we have Echo Right giving us a Bounding Echoes to our starting hand. And we have an unremovable candy on the top floor. So that thing just has decent stats in general. But it's 2 cost. It feels like this unit is only ever relevant in Hellhorn or Melting Remnant, where you can either reform it, double its summon trigger, or use Transcend Imp to copy its summon trigger. X take 1 from the unremovable every turn, yes. I'm assuming they do. I'm not 100% certain on that. These are not the units we want. We have another chance at the value stone, and I will turn it down again. Well, now that solves the issue with the first of kin being too large to effectively use with other units and stuff like that. Yeah, that's interesting. That might make a lot of sense. Now we kinda wanna fuse another good essence on the first of kin instead of using its very useful essence on another unit. Friendly units enter with sap, yeah. That shouldn't be a problem. And we definitely want to be on top now. We have a Bounding Echoes in hand, but we want the edge trigger from that. So I think we Bounding Echoes the Bounding Echoes. Oh, that's perfect. She comes up to daze me this turn, so I won't get dazed next turn. But we might be dazed for these units. I could also block the damage, but honestly I don't think that's necessary at all. Our defense is just too good for us to care about taking a little bit of damage. Do we start spamming Proclamation on the top floor? That's... well... there was something useful in that. This is a fine turn for us to get dazed. The only way to remove the backline, the haster here. Well, we don't have to. It would be Space Prism Proclamation, but that's just bad. Let's protect the armor of our top line guy. And we are quite strong here indeed. We have to proclamate first. Nice. Shroud Mitosis Furnace Tap Kindle. Yeah, this deck can probably make use of Amber Drain. And the multi-strike solves our problem of large floors. Do we just infuse a First of Kin onto our First of Kin? We could also use a Morsel Master, but that would be a bit weird. I was considering using a Morsel Master in the opposite role. Sure, let's get the faster scaling. We also want draw. Morsel Maid. It's a shame to have it right now. It would actually be good. It could be good. But we would have to change our deck quite a bit. We are looking for multi-strike on our upgraded First of Kin now. Not much else at the moment. Not much else at all. Speedstone. First of Kin and Second of Kin. Maybe we just solve multi-strike with the Furnace Tap. And go for quick instead. Okay, now that we have Furnace Tap, let's get these Echo Breaks out of the deck. These will never be worth cost reducing. Now the question is, do we want Repeater to have a chance of getting Furnace Tap, Forgotten Trade, Bounding Echoes and Prismal Dust back into our hand, and Space Prism? That's just good. It's very hard to turn down this repeated value on just one champion upgrade. This is so much better card generation, value generation, than something like Shardtail Queen Imp Parade 1. Repeater 1 is just a fully powered version of that ability right from the get-go. And that's just impressive. The enemies die to infuse Mallet, huh? But they are There might be a spike core depending on what we... I'm just gonna etch here. Depending on what... Oh, never mind. I'm just wrong. This is a different fight than I thought. I want to hold this over. We got a Prismal Dust back. It's nice. Yeah, this is just scaling, right? Getting a card back every turn triggers the first of kin every turn. Get all of these infused so we can actually generate enough energy to play everything here. I will not be able to play the one Scourge I'm gonna get from that guy. But I'm okay with that. It's just 3 damage in total. Actually, I forgot about these guys. Okay, it's a bit more than 3 damage in total. But it's still worth it. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it wasn't. It was 14 damage. Unlucky Infuse Mallet not proccing. That's a consume spell that gives us a consume spell. That's very good for Edge. That's a consume spell that gives us 3 consume spells. We no longer need unit upgrades, we need spell upgrades, although removals would be nice. But we need spell upgrades pretty urgently. Hey Alex! Thank you so much for your Twitch Prime sub. Very much appreciated. 8 months now. It has been that long, huh? Says, stay safe my friend, hope for many more months of streaming. Thank you so much, Alex. Much appreciated. I mean, 50 damage is good, but 200 damage... that's better. Let's also fuse together these kins. The first and the second of kin. And then I think we go for double cost reduction on Furnace Tap, so we can actually play multiples of these. Holdover when... do we want that? Do we want holdover at all? Do we want holdover on an Echo Infusion? What does that do for us? Not a whole lot, I'm afraid. Nope. If we do that, we can't really play it reasonably well. No, fusing units together doesn't carry over unit upgrades. The unit upgrades on the sacrificed units are lost. Consume double stack, huh? We don't really have the energy for that most of the time. Let's start purging a few things here. Yeah, I think that's fine. Non-boss enemy units enter with spikes. I don't care. I also think we are pretty much fine against stealthed enemies. Let's start etching things up. Well, that led to us missing the collector. Unfortunate. Getting back Amber Cache is nice. Very nice. Okay, this turn we actually have Amber. We want more multi-strike. We can kill that guy with these two spells. It just doesn't work. I'm gonna just generate some candies on the next floor down. We don't really need to do anything here. Getting that guy out of the way means we can actually kill everyone with quick there. Another weak hit for backliners, perhaps. Well, there aren't any more backliners coming, so that doesn't really matter. But that just means we have pretty much already won. How much stealth? Yeah, that's not even that much stealth. It's a lot of energy. There we go. Friendly unit center with lifesteal 2. Okay. It's probably not going to be too impactful. But it's also never going to be bad. Total recall. Total recall. Which spells do we care about bringing back from our discard? Echo Infusion. That's it. So we rather have that one. That's a pretty neat essence. Plus 10 health and plus 1 ember each turn. Can put that on another unit that's probably more useful in terms of capacity usage than the Forge. Let's get some relics. Let's get a lot of relics. That's a Carving Karuska. That is insanely good. Winged Steel versus Lost Luggage. Temporary Talisman isn't an option for this deck. That's 4 extra cards on the first turn. Winged Steel is more than 4 extra cards. While the cards in the cards on the first turn matter a bit more than cards later. I still think overall the Winged Steel is worth it. Worth more. Light's Gift. Just in case we don't feel like we have enough defense, huh? Commemorative Spike, maybe? No, that's meaningless. Bone Bunny. Unlikely to happen. But I would certainly be happy about it. Bone Dog is actually a callback to an earlier game from the same developers. This is an engine. We can just Prismal Dust, get back the Prismal Dust, get back the Broken Memories. Then we get back the Broken Memories with the Broken Memories. And get back the Broken Memories with the Broken Memories. That's a lot of consume spells played each turn. That's a huge upside from Winged Steel over the luggage. We can double play certain cards. Get back the Amber Cache with the Broken Memories and then the Broken Memories with the Broken Memories. I feel like at this point we are just scaling out of control. We don't even need more multi-strike. We have Carving Koruska. We get the candy back anyways. Just casual damage shield 13. Wouldn't it be cool if in place of the cloth drape behind you in the background you had a giant dog blanket? Giant bone dog blanket? I don't know. I'm pretty happy with my bed curtain. I think we have enough attack. I think we now want more multi-strike. This turns off our consume engine. Uh-oh. I mean, we have won at this point, so the cost increases there don't even matter. I was just saving my broken memory from these cost increases. At least that's now my excuse. We can play all of that still, even if it's 2 cost. While we are heavily Ember drained. Trample makes a lot of sense. The child eventually grew tired of judgment and bored of this realm. So we sent you judges. Hersel first and Malika soon after. We thought it best to leave you to your own survival. Ultimately your free will led to your own demise, as well as others of divinity. Now you are all just grains of sand in an endless desert of time. Though I will admit I have sensed the merging of late. Part of my divinity slipping away into your own soul. I suspect it to be part of our shared pact, a consequence of the collapsing of time. Does this give you hope? Imagine a traitor's quill in this deck. We don't need those though. I do not understand the mechanics of hope, but I can respect the strength it gives. Your world is of no consequence to me and the sins committed against me are done and paid for. But I cannot allow the rules of this loop to lapse. We will continue to fight, but perhaps we can fight with respect. Relics and removals. Seems useful. Another true and extreme stone. Maybe we can get the lightstone casing. Blights and Scorches cost -1. That's actually a really good relic for us, I think. We still have Echo Breaks in the deck. We still have unupgraded Plinks in the deck. At this point, we generate enough Echoes that Echo Break is actually better than the Plinks, I think. Let's just go to Edge Armor 8. And I will take the Sinner Salve here. Now do we want anything from here? There's another Divine Temple in the next area. We can always finish our 100 pack charts. We could do it here or we could do it on the next floor. I could purge a Train Steward for 25. Make another Train Steward a bit better. Could upgrade my Plinks. And honestly, Piercing Plink isn't bad. I mean, even an Extreme Plink isn't bad. And we have 100 packed shards, which is all we need to reach the divinity. It's a good chunk of etching done right at the start. I want to draw into my Furnace tab and Proclamation. So I'm not going to use these Broken Memories before I draw with the Winged Steel. That's an Extreme Plink, that's actually quite good. Although these enemies are just too tanky for that. Prismal Dust is the most useful out of these cards. I am significantly slowing down my draw once I start doing that. But we got to where we wanted to be, so things are fine. We could get really solid use out of an upgraded Train Steward. That wave with these waves with the Gilded Wings in the background, well, all the way in the back, I mean, they are quite annoying. There was 2 consume spells on the wrong floor, but I think it was necessary. Umbra Stone would probably have been a good idea, actually. Giving us trample. We might be able to draw into it pretty quickly though. These Dark Wings are quite scary when Shard upgraded. Okay, we have trample now, we have everything we need. I also like that this deck seems very well equipped to deal with the Divinity waves. The DLC did add more expert challenges, yes, I haven't looked at them yet. Maybe I should do so. Let's give you trample as well, why not? That's the wrong spell to put back on top of the deck, but who cares? Power of knowledge, probably not. Perfect insanity. I'm gonna take it. It's certainly not necessary. It's also interesting that it is a very large spell that isn't attuned, but I guess the damage number is just not supposed to be changed. Dun Echo is more card draw. Cleansing Water is actually very good against the Divinity. And these don't really matter. Can we fuel and extract 6 card every turn? Probably not. I'm gonna upgrade it with holdover anyway, just because I want to. Nope. That's not happening. Q probably goes on Furnace Tap, right? Or on Ember Cache. Actually having more Broken Memories is also good. But I think I want another Furnace Tap. And final removal goes on this Echo Break. Yeah, the Train Swords just get played out, that's fine. Should have looked at the temple much earlier. Twinstone. I like Twinstone on ammo cache. That's actually very nice. I'm also gonna make it intrinsic. I want that on turn 1. And I don't really care about the added threat level with these shards. 100, 125. I think we're strong enough either way. Although we don't have that much health. Top floor being capacity reduced is not even a problem for us. Which is just awesome. That was a decent start. I don't think there is probably a pack chart maximum, but I don't think it's very easy to reach. Amphi might have reached it. If you have an infinite gold engine, then enable that you can dupe cards at Merchant Mutator. Then you can gain a lot of shards. By just using... Oh, you have some damage shields. How nice. You can gain a lot of shards by just duping a heavily sharded card over and over again. Bye bye. I'm misordering all of that completely, and I should have played the Umbra Stone. That's actually a huge damage upgrade against the Seraph here. But honestly, there was a lot of those. Well, we got rid of the damage shield on Seraph. Take some insanity. I think we can get the flying kill. Seems pretty reasonable. Just for fun. Let's see if we can get the flying kill this turn. Looks like we can. With some insanity. There we go. Yeah, the consume engine is quite good. The consume engine is really strong. Let's see if it works just as well against the Divinity. We can easily counter the sweep with our armor gain. So setting up on the top floor is certainly the right choice here. Let's just stack some multi-strike. And now I hope we can get trample. Doesn't look like we can get trampled this turn. This Perfect Insanity could actually be a pretty quick way to kill the Divinity. Because Divinity is always on the top floor. Well, to my defense, this is a pretty insane deck, so... This is such a powerful engine. There we go. Early Divinity kill. 4-turn boss rush. Could have been better, but it's pretty good. Yeah. The consume engine is very nice. Very nice indeed. 62,000. Not a bad score. Not a bad score at all. For those of you who are interested in having some fun with consume in the next 6.5 hours, they can use the challenge code basis opinion tomato to try and play this run and maybe see if they can get an even higher score. If you pick more shards, that should be pretty easy actually.